Grand Rising Kings and Queens. Send my strength, my love, and my courage. We set the standard, we raise the bar. How are you guys doing today? I'm alright. You know, today is the day that I move out of my baby mother's mom's house, right? But it's like a bittersweet moment, you know. As I've stated in other videos, today is just something that I have to experience to really feel what it's going to be like to live without my kids. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of every aspect of my kids' life, and now that me and their mother have, you know, been broken up now for quite a time, you know, we're both setting out to get our own places essentially, and it just sucks, you know, like the little things, seeing my kids before I walk out, you know, for work, just the daily things, their personalities. Like, you know, I understand this isn't the end of my relationship with them, but this is the end of a big part of how our relationship has been, and that's just living together, you know. I'm hurt for real. I shed a couple of tears about it earlier, but this, I don't know how to navigate through this, because yes, I knew this day was coming, you know what I mean? I really did. But I don't know, it just sucks, and all I can do is adjust, you know. The one thing that really frustrates me in the midst of all this is just like, you know, my kid's mother is like now all of a sudden saying, you know, I don't need you, and saying a bunch of just unnecessary hateful things, right? And as a parent, like, I've went above and beyond, you know, when she has not really been as active as a parent, you know, this during the summer period for the kids. She's never had to call me and say, hey, where are you guys at, what's going on, you know. Like, now all of a sudden, you know, just some of the things she say, it's like, you know, you're bashing me in front of my kids as if I am not a great parent. And beyond 2 instances where we've had bad arguments while we've lived at your mother's house, like, I'm a great dad, and I will continue to say that until I feel like I don't need to say it anymore. And so yeah, it sucks, but it also is like a mixture of like dealing with it, right? And then just hearing some of the things she's saying, like, you know, like I said, the one thing she didn't ever have to correct me on since we broke up in general is like being a parent. I've been on my point. Like, I've never dropped the ball. So I don't know. You know, my relationship with my kids is amazing. It wasn't jacked up, but I have just adjusted a lot of things as a parent. And it's kind of tough, but this is a day that was coming since the day we broke up. You know, whether she had a boyfriend or not, we were not getting back together. That was like never an issue. Like, we never talked about getting back together, you know what I'm saying? So I never thought like anything other than eventually we're gonna be moving out of here and doing our own thing. And now it's here, and it is what it is. I'm just, like I said, it's just some of the petty, unnecessary things she has done, you know, to me as a parent. Is like, I don't get it, you know. It's just something I'm just gonna have to adjust and pray on it, I guess, because it's affected me more than I guess I really care to show. But all I'm gonna do is just continue to be the best version of me, becoming the best version of me. This doesn't stop the journey. This doesn't delay anything for me. But it is like a tough pill to swallow. The day is here, and I'm not gonna say I knew this day was coming. Now it's here, and I'm like almost in a state of shock. It feels like a Twilight Zone moment, like damn, this is really like, it's really happening, and I just don't know how I feel about it. I don't. Like, I'm tore up about it, but so much has happened and transpired, now it's like my whole frustration I have is like, we could have just had a conversation and had a way more civil, breakup process, so to speak. And now the kids have seen and heard unnecessary things. And this has just really been a much more trying time for the kids than it should have been. And I hate that for them. I really do. I don't really, like, of course I care about me and how I feel and stuff, right? But it's like, I guess that's to be expected, the extent that she has taken things, I didn't expect that. But like, I expected her to give me hell, you know what I'm saying, say some hateful things, but to question me as a parent and bash me as a parent is like literally insane. To know me is to know, like, I take care of my kids. I have an upstanding reputation and character when it comes to my kids. So I don't know, that makes me want to like be like, but it is what it is, I guess somebody that I spent 12 years with now all of a sudden is questioning everything about me, as a parent, and talking about a lack of this and that. And I'm just like, I could be saying some of those same things about you, but instead of taking it to that extent you are, I'm just saying, like, you just could have been better. You could have done more with the kids, and that's being like real polite and cool about it. Like I said, I had numerous of people telling me, like, I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you managed through this time, not only with the things that she was doing, but she was saying. And like, that doesn't really make me feel better, right? But it's like, I'm built for like the tough times. I'm gonna make it through anything that comes my way. Outside of me like being physically unable to do stuff, like, there's not anything that's gonna deter me. It is odd to me. It's like she acting like, the mother of my kids is acting like damn near like she want me dead. Cool, all right, but it's like, for what though? You're trying to operate like unnecessarily, and it just is what it is. So I guess you kind of like, I kind of got to laugh at it, but it's not really funny. It's like, damn, that's really how you feel. But everybody deals with and processes things differently, and I don't know, because we don't talk about anything at all. I don't know where her head is at. I don't wish her no type of bad luck. I have no animosity toward her, even though she lied on me on Saturday. Like, I forgive her. At the end of the day, it's really just all the big miscommunication. Now, she did lie, right? She did lie, but I don't believe that she knew her brother was home. So, like, I got to give you the benefit of the doubt on that, because if not, I'd just be sitting around with this animosity towards you for leaving the kids at the house and lying. And like, that's just not, it's unnecessary for one, but it's just something, like I said, not going to treat her the way she's been treating me, and I could. A lot of people think I should have been doing not tick for tack things, but like, you know, giving her a dose of her medicine, so to speak. And, you know, for me, I just needed to make sure my kids understand, like, I love them. I'm sorry all of this is going on. And that's all I can do. That's all I'm going to hold my head on. The people that need to know the real. And it's like I said, today's just one of those days where I'm like sad for my kids, because we're never going to have that family, like whole family thing again. It just is what it is. But this day was coming no matter what. And I'm not going to sit here and say like I thought I was prepared, but I didn't think today would come around the way it did, and I would be as emotional as I have been. So I'm just, you know, appreciating myself for everything that I have been able to do. You know, a little side note is like, it's frustrating too, because we aren't going through this situation now at all because I'm like a bad parent, because I wasn't a provider. Like, you know, I genuinely put my best foot forward as far as providing for my family, and I did that very well for like 3 years, and then I had the slip up, right? But even through me getting fired, I still maintained a little side job. I kept other side hustles, and I always had some type of income, whether it was, you know, little to nothing. Like, I always had something. We never were hungry. We're never just jacked up. And it just kind of like is like, damn, you know, you sit back and like, I'm like, we went through all that, losing our apartment and everything. We moved down to Tennessee. Like, she never said like, hey, maybe we could stay if I tried to get a job. Like, that never came up. We got to her mom's house, then she got a job. She tell, I want to get a job because I want to get my hair, my nails done, and I'm tired of not going out with my friends. And I was just like blown away. Like, that's why you want a job. And I'm not saying that to talk down to her. I'm saying that, like, imagine where my head is at, that we live with your mom and that's why you want to get a job. Like, damn. So she got a job in December. I got a job at the same place in January, and I saved up in a couple months, got a car, bought a car. Like, I saved up and paid off a bunch of different little things. You know, I was taking care of a lot of responsibilities for us to do whatever we wanted to do. And then one day she don't want to do this no more. So I have adjusted as well as I could, and it just like, it's just crazy, you know. She's had this job that she's had currently for half most of this year, right? 6-7 months. The last couple months we've had phones back on. Like, she just completely like forgot about everything that I have done, was continuing to do. And even if it wasn't like we were together, like, she's never had to question anything that I was doing, especially for my kids during this time. You know, I've never got no text outside of some little BS about her little clothes issue. I've been taking care of my responsibilities, and it's just like, you know, like I said, I'm just looking at the whole thing today, and I'm like, damn, like, so you get a job basically, and like, you just changed, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, you became a whole different person. You started making a couple dollars doing the same things like I was doing, but you're not, like, she just didn't have the same responsibilities as me. And I feel like there just should have been a conversation a long time ago, and this just could have been a way much easier process, you know what I'm saying, until we had to come to this day where it's like, damn, like, now so it just is what it is. That was something, you know, like I said, as a parent, I wanted I thought I was going to be able to give my kids the life I didn't have, as far as having both parents living together, doing what they needed to do, happy. And then all this crap happens, and I'm like, I don't even remember what I was being said about what and why. And so I don't know. It just is what it is. I'm going to continue to grow, learn. This isn't the end of my life. It's just the end of my life living with them full time, and I just got to adjust to it. I just can't believe everything has happened the way it has. But if this is what I had to go through to get to greener pastures, by all means, let's get to it. But just soaking everything in, being grateful, being appreciative. Like I said, I can revisit things from me and her and not get overcritical. Like, it's just the truth. We were in a situation where I was able to be the provider, and it worked until it didn't. And even when I lost the job, I never stopped being a stand-up man. So it just is like a punch in the gut when you just sit back and it's like, so I'm not able to do it how you want me to, and now it's a problem. So it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I love myself. I appreciate myself for being understanding. At times I don't have to be understanding. At times when I'm getting judged and criticized when I shouldn't be, you just got to be the bigger person and continue to do the next best thing. That's just in my interest, for me as a father to my kids, though. So one thing at a time, one day at a time. I'm human. I'm a man, but I do have feelings and emotions, and I'd like to think I am being better about how I'm dealing with things and analyzing my feelings, and that's all I can do. So I love you guys. Be safe. We set the standard. We raise the bar. Enjoy the rest of your day.